You ever hear the phrase, your reputation is as good as currency? Well, to me, it was a newer phrase, but when I heard it, it's something that I gravitated towards because it aligns with my thinking. In the past, I've said oftentimes that the best form of networking is just to do good work. And your reputation as a form of currency is part and parcel of that, right? When you are kind and show, all kinds of virtues that we would want in somebody and their work, that will benefit you, right? Certainly in your career, it is a form of currency because people want to work with you, aka hire you, aka pay you, right? And, one of the jumping off points was, for me, this idea that as part of your reputation, the honoring of commitments. It's something that I've been thinking a lot about recently because of certain things that happen, and also on stage at LA Comic-Con when we were presenting, a panel with my team and I, someone from the audience asked, what are the qualities you look for in someone when they're pitching a project to you? And Sarah Stratton brilliantly said that, are they going to finish this project? Because a lot of people have great ideas, but not everyone, takes it to the finish line. And I was like, yes, that makes sense. And yes, that's perfect to point out, which is what I call like honoring your commitments. And I don't know, it's just weird. Because recently for me, on a very high level, you'd be amazed at people that like have literally signed contracts and they're like, no, we're just not going to do it. And it's like, wait, what? But you throw these people, the rest of the people that are working on something under the bus, and now it's a whole giant mess. It's quite fascinating and even, and by the way, like, it's one thing to just do it, but to have, like, when you're working with people and you have a personal relationship and then, they no longer want to do something, okay, fine. Let's have a conversation about that and let me know up front, and let's figure out a way to, okay, split or whatever it is. Don't, like, all of a sudden just send your agent and that's it. Like, that just seems so unnecessarily aggressive and egregious. When there was a pre-existing relationship, and it's not like it went south or anything like that. It's like you just don't want to do, like, just no longer fits within your schedule. Fine. So let's have that conversation. I think people get in this weird place to, like, be scared, and it's like, you're just burning a bridge unnecessarily. Another sort of example is, there was a show that I'd worked on a couple of years ago, and, it was a show that was meant to come back eventually, right? So they paused it and it was meant to come back. And then, one day out of the blue, I just get an email like, hey, can you send the assets to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I know what they're doing. They're going to have someone else take over the show and stuff like that, which is fine. That's their prerogative. But there's a kinder way to do it, So you just be amazed at how easily, like, people can come off as shitty, which taints their reputation. Now, as I was thinking about all these sort of aspects in my life and things like that, and the term reputation as currency, I wanted to kind of really explore, well, okay, if we're taking that term of reputation as currency, how would we define this into more tangible things? Like, what exactly does this mean? What are the benefits of having a good reputation? So here's a list of stuff that I sort of had come up with. So, your currency, right, becomes increased trust. If you have a good reputation, there's an increased trust. So a solid reputation encourages people to trust you, making it easier to form relationships and collaborations in both personal and professional contexts, right? If people don't trust you, in either side of it, the personal or the professional, why would they want to hang out with you? Why would they want to work with you? It doesn't make sense, right? Because you are untrustworthy. But if you are trustworthy, then yes, people feel good about recommending you for all kinds of things, right? For a job, if they have a single friend, they want to be like, hey, you got to meet this person, and I think you guys would agree. Like whatever it is, it could be for a sports team, it could be whatever. You want to be trustworthy, and as part of that, better opportunities. A good reputation can lead to career, business, and social opportunities that people are likely to seek out. People with stronger records. So the career aspect to me is obvious, but even just something as simple as if someone's always like breaking plans, showing up late, things of that nature, then why would you invite them to things? You might not necessarily look at like being invited to fun events as an opportunity, but socially, yeah, it can be if and it doesn't mean that like if you decline an invite and stuff like that, again, it just goes back to how you do it, things of that nature, and also just kind of your upkeep throughout the whole thing. So, one of the things I really strive for is to check in on the various people in my life and stuff like that. So that way, even if I can't make certain things, we maintain that relationship and it's genuine. I truly do care about people in my life and I want them to be part of my life. And so, yes, in an odd way, by extension, it leads to better opportunities. Third, influence and authority. Your reputation can elevate your influence within a community or industry, allowing your opinions or decisions to carry more weight, right? So when you're trustworthy, when you've built up these opportunities and stuff like that, more things come your way. And I've certainly seen it with me. I've gotten knocked for putting out these episodes, and things of that nature, like why do I do it? I could do, and whatnot. They get such low views and this and that. And it's like, no, to me is I put them out because it's something that I believe in, right? I want to share this information. I've benefited from this information. People have been kind enough to gift me a lot of this information. Some of it I've had to learn on my own. And so I want to pay it forward in that way. And because of that, just by doing this, over this period of time, just this alone, I've been doing almost like 8 years of putting out various episodes. People have kind of noticed that, seen it, and I've gotten work off of that, right? So that helps. And now it's led to new opportunities, right? I have mentioned me going to LA Comic-Con, as a panelist. This is my 3rd year running, right? So I have that influence and authority where people want to hear from me. And that's very humbling, right? It's amazing. And it's wonderful to have that sort of reputation. The next one, number 4, loyalty network. With a respected reputation, you build a loyalty network of supporters, followers, or clients who are more likely to recommend you to others. Right? When we talk about it's all about networking and who you know to get the job, especially like in the creative industries. Well, I'm now very much in a position that pretty much any job that I've ever gotten was because someone recommended me. I've not had to apply outright for anything. And that's a wonderful position to be in, to the point that sometimes I joke of more jobs keep coming my way, even though I'm not looking for any, right? That's a wonderful sort of place to be in. And even just like the supporters that I've had for, through the crowd funds for my movies and you watching this now and things like that. It's wonderful to continue to build that. Not because I'm a numbers person and want the quantity necessarily, but it does mean that what I'm doing has a resonance, has a depth to it, and is resonating. So that's wonderful. That's what I want. Number 5, favorable negotiations. A strong reputation can be a powerful tool during negotiations, giving you leverage and helping you secure better deals, whether in business, contracts, or partnerships. This is true. When I started having clients, you know, on the side and things of that nature, you know, I knew that in order to build trust and build my relationship with them, that, you know, the market dictates their value. And I knew at that point, like, that I didn't necessarily have this big reputation. So I would cut people a deal and so forth. And now as new clients come in and things like that, I can ask for a higher price because it is justified, you know, based off of the work that I've done in the past that people can point to and say like, oh, this is why this person is good at what they do, and stuff like that. So yeah, it does service you in that way in negotiations, right? To have them be favorable towards you. Number 6, this is a strong one. Resilience to criticism. When you have a positive reputation, minor mistakes or criticisms may be viewed more leniently as people give you the benefit of the doubt based on your established integrity. Now, this is one of those, like, we live in an interesting time, you know, where everyone can sort of take their piss in anything. Sure. But, you know, even just on the day-to-day of things like, you know, like let's say you make a mistake, with a certain project, right? Okay, if it's a one-off because people know you, it's like, oh, okay, so you messed up, no big deal, let's fix it, let's move on and continue it, right? So it does help in that way. Number 7, increased credibility. Having a reputation for reliability or excellence boosts your credibility, leading people to take your ideas, work, and projects more seriously. You know, this is especially important for me at the moment because I have a film project that I'm pitching to, to studios and things of that nature. And, you know, unlike with my past movies, this is one that I can't outright produce myself. I need outside funding to be able to really do this one. And, you know, studios don't just take pitches from anybody, right? You have to be very credible. And so I'm hoping to lean in on my network, the goodwill of the past and stuff like that for other people to help push me along. And, you know, when you know, financiers, studios, investors, whoever sees that, you know, my sort of resume and the things that I've done, it increases my credibility of like, oh, he is someone that we can give this money to and know that it's, you know, not going to be wasted. It's going to be used for what he says is going to be used. And he's going to deliver a product that he says he's going to deliver, right? So that's increased credibility. Number 8, better support systems. A good reputation attracts individuals who want to help or work with you, whether by providing mentorship, funding, or other forms of assistance. Yeah, absolutely. You know, as I've kind of been hinting at, or certainly, you know, talking about the past movies that I've made, you know, the first 2, you know, I got a little support on my first one. Then once I had that one and people could see it, and as I went to make my second one, now I had increased the level of support and I was able to do a crowdfund and help, you know, get money to help make that movie and so forth. And just in general, right? Like as I continue to build and things like that, because I have that reputation of getting things done, you know, my word is my bond sort of thing, and not being toxic and things of that nature, it helps propel me forward, you know, and I have those people that want to help me. And they want to help me because guess what? In turn, I actually want to help them. That's part of my reputation. I genuinely want to help other people. Again, that's part of why I do, you know, episodes like this, and have been for 8-something years, is because I genuinely want to support people and artists particularly. Number 9, long-term sustainability. With a well-maintained reputation, you build a foundation for long-term success that can carry you through ups and downs, especially in competitive industries. I mean, Hollywood, right, as filmmakers, is a very competitive industry. But, you know, even music, you know, writing, painting, like you name any creative endeavor, it's arduous, right? Nothing's guaranteed. And so having all these things, that we've been mentioning gives you that support, right? And I can't tell you how many times, like, there's, let's say, I may mention that, there was a show that went on pause, and I kind of knew that, like, it wouldn't just be a pause of a couple of weeks, that, it's probably going to be a longer term, like 1 year or whatever. And, that meant that meant less money coming in for me. Well, the irony is, so, that client went on pause, and meaning I essentially lost them. And somebody kind of stepped in, like call it the universe or whatever. Like, it was very serendipitous, but it was serendipitous because I built up that sort of reputation of doing good work and, being good to my clients and stuff like that. And so, a new show came in, that took its place, and that was wonderful, right? So, this is where you sort of want to be at. Obviously no one wants to lose their job, but, I have a lot of friends that have been sort of laid off from various companies, but because they have such a strong reputation, within like a few weeks, if not a month, they're landing on their feet. And that's a wonderful thing to see. So yes. Next and final, attracting talent and partnerships. People want to align themselves with respected individuals, so strong reputation helps you attract top talent, partners, or collaborators who elevate your projects further. Again, this is true. With my first movie, I knew that it'd be sort of an uphill battle. I had to kind of get people on board that were willing to get on board, and the second one was a little bit easier to get people on board because they're like, oh, he's already done it before. And so forth. And now with my third movie, I'm only building on that, right? So yes, absolutely. When you have a good reputation, when you have a good body of work, it does help to attract bigger talent and better partnerships. So these are the 10 things that when we look at reputation as currency, this is what we're talking about. So, really look at your reputation, and that includes how you treat people, the work you do, the stuff you put in on social media. It's all encompassing, right? All these different things. Look at it as a holistic view. In fact, I would encourage you, comment down below with, the various aspects of, your life, both personal and professional, that contribute to your reputation. What are those things? Let's make a list. That I think that would be very beneficial for everybody. So thank you as always. I truly appreciate it. Hope this helps you out. And see you next time.